We are here for week 132 here in the Challenge Series. We are kicking things off once more with the 525 category, with exactly one new face on the grid. That face is also in the commentary box.
That's right, people. I'm back in the booth for another appearance.
Just a convenience thing, because he's always just kind of around. I swear to God, it's like he's omnipotent or something. But, he seemed very insistent on doing it this time. I can only fucking imagine why. But, anyway, yeah, on to Brands Hatch Indy for the 525 race. This is usually a 600 class track as well. We don't really use it for anything faster, because if it were any higher category, we would just use the full layout. But it's, even at 2.5 miles, the full Brands Hatch is a little lengthy for this category. As crazy as that is to think. And Brands Hatch is the way a mixture of tiny cars and old cars make their way down the freaking roller coaster that is our first
singular garbage truck.
Yeah, and I guess also a little off-road Jeep with Rio's Jimny there. But it's mostly either really tiny or really old. Natsuki Narashi in the Corolla 11 is the focus driver of this round. In her element with models such as this, the smaller it is, usually the more effective she is. Well, that's not fucking helping. Well, there it is. Akira just went a little aggressive. Natsuki wanted to back up the exit, but yeah, late apex normally works pretty well, but not when there is a Daihatsu Cope in there. She'll slowly meander back onto the race course. And Thrasher's already getting a little bit of distance between himself and the decommed hearse. Oh no, and man, everybody, you just see the lack of power in these machines. Most cars are struggling to even crack 100 miles on the way into turn 1. A few of these cars did not show up last week since, well, there are 26 cars in the category. Now 27 with Logan's MX-5, Miata, Unos, whatever you want to call it. We call them Miatas normally, but we are in Europe after all, so
yeah, my brand new '89 Miata that is sponsored by Gatorade.
All of the drink brands sponsoring Demon Sport. Not all of them, I guess. There's no Coke, but you get the idea. Looks like Natsuki is just about... Oh, yeah, she's back in the field. She has recovered pretty fast, considering what happened just over a lap ago. The 16th ahead of Sam Hilton, who's not going down quietly. Okay, Riho. Hold on to her. Is there any foul play? No, just overcooked under braking, and probably a bit of body lean since this is a little mini Jeep. Ooh, that's 3 wide. Hello. That's the key. Oh. Yeah, probably just because of the team she's on. Oh, that's still 3 wide. 2.5 Toyotas, 3 wide to turn 3 at Brands Hatch. Somehow that did not end in contact.
And she got past Kira without doing anything on the extreme side.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it's just because she knows that she's on a more reputable team like Black Stallion Motorsport. She's been more trained to keep her temper in check as compared to what it was when the Challenge Series first began. She definitely had a bit of a temper before, and in fact, her and Thrasher were longtime rivals before they were teammates. That's three wide again with the Suzuki and an old Toyota. Kyozo will brake aggressively to get away, but Natsuki still grabs a spot from the hot pink machine and then gets the Sports 800 on exit. As I believe that thing doesn't really have much in the way of power. Takushi will also overtake Kyozo Kitano there. And one pass away from the top five. AJ not making that super easy, but a little bit of, not force, but definitely imposing one's will to take that spot away. Another Toyota Aqua in Natsuki's view, but that's already going for a pass. That's currently occupied with nearly spinning out, tail whipping Alice Carson, and through goes Narashi ahead of the pair of them. And under the podium spots after being in the grass just about 4 minutes ago. Now in pursuit of Tertimoner, as well as that hearse of Brianna Tao.
Who has closed the gap up pretty decently on Thrasher.
Yeah, that's effectively nose to tail. Obviously not literally nose to tail, but about as close as you want to be without risking anything.
I do wonder how strong the slipstream is going to play a factor due to the slow speeds of the cars as try to go around the outside there, actually. Answering my own damn question.
I don't think it would be super strong, but here comes the 85 or 8611. I mean, that's the name. Ahead of the Volvo. It is a car. A Toyota, like many others. And Thrasher
to the lead.
Thrasher put up a little bit of a fight, honestly more than I expected him to, but it is Natsuki to the race lead. I did say she is in her element in this kind of car, and there is the evidence. Now Thrasher will just attempt to keep the hearse at bay and secure a 1-2 finish for Black Stallion Motorsports. In the background, AJ has overtaken Carson as well. The S600 suffering in comparison to the Toyotas, and soon possibly even a Suzuki Cappuccino filling her mirrors. The garbage truck up to 9th after starting 19th as well. I do wonder what Clean Terrace could do if he actually got a good starting slot. He started 19th in both of his appearances, and both of them he has managed to convert to top half finishes. So I just have to wonder if he managed to get like a top 4 starting spot, that garbage truck could be unstoppable. It is a clusterfuck back here for the mid-cap.
I remember being in this chaos and immediately thinking it feels like a fucking plate race at Talladega or Daytona.
Plate racing, but with the brakes. And the cars just everywhere down the front straightaway for the second to last time here from Brands Hatch's Indy layout. 3 wide ahead of you, in fact, and you kind of got involved, but not much. Got a fellow MX-5 in there as well. Yeah, just look at this shit. This is like 9 cars in a blanket. All being held off by the Mini of Amber Ashhart, who is basically just running for her life from that S13 there.
Yeah, this was an absolute cluster the entire time.
Everything's pretty spread out at the front. It really is just this battle here. Just pack, as you said, yeah, just pack racing. And Joshua followed Ashhart away from this battle, and now it's actually Kotori leading this cluster of vehicles onto the final lap of the race. It's all clean though. I guess it'd be kind of hard not to be clean when nobody's really getting over 100 miles an hour at any point on the track. But only thought that's Ruby. Yeah, that Prius is not doing her any favors. She didn't even get damaged. That thing is just that slow. But one more turn to make. Natsuki Narashi off the final turn will take the victory in the 11 here in Brands Hatch, make that a 1-2 result for Black Stallion Motorsports, and the hearse will round out the podium positions. Robbie Sterling, also honorable mention, 4th overall in his second start in the Challenge Series. The Minnesota native surprisingly manhandling that basically Toyota Prius.
Meanwhile, the actual Prius...
Yeah, dead last. And not your best work. That is a photo fucking finish. Right up to the line. I believe you were credited with 15th on that. But ultimately not the debut I imagine you were looking for since you started 9th, I believe?
It was not, but... This wasn't the last appearance of me this week.
Yeah, that much I know, because I mean, I ran one race this week and you were also there, so... But that's the 525 round in the books. Now let's head to the next one. And race 2 of the week. Tuesday morning. The sun is barely cresting over the hills here at Interlagos. And that is the 600 class on offer. 4:30 in the morning local time. People thought we were freaking crazy. And they might be right.
I still think you were.
Like I said, and they might be right. But I'm not the craziest, and that's the important thing. I was definitely expecting you to fire back at that, but I guess not.
No, because I can absolutely agree. I mean, you know my drivers.
Yeah, and I think even there are some that aren't on your team that are much crazier than me. Like anybody who drives a Porsche, for example. But yeah, there are actually, are there any of those in this race? I don't quite remember offhand. You'd think I would. I was in the race, but the only appearance I have this entire week. We are away from Interlagos, and yes, there absolutely were Porsche drivers in this race. And they are, in fact, crazy. Especially the one who drives a 356, Stephanie. Don't know how you do it. But, the also maybe slightly crazy, but less so than a Porsche driver, Nozomi is the point-of-view driver in this race in her Mach 1 Mustang. And you had a much more advantageous starting spot this time. I think you started 4th. You nearly intimidated Yo to drive with... Interesting.
Yeah, that was not intentional.
I think that was maybe a little bit of a concertina effect. You just kind of scared the heck out of her and took advantage. Thrasher also tries taking advantage. That's very close racing. Here comes Silica in the Suzuki, and she is attempting to escape Kevin Begstrom's new machine. This is the first we've seen a BMW CSL in over 2 years in the Challenge Series. Long-standing viewers.
I saw tire smoke between Silica and Thrasher.
Well, I'll get to that in a second. Long-standing viewers may recall that one Michael Krieger debuted with one, and then it promptly got totaled. Yeah, that's a little weird. I think Silica just knew that she could maybe kind of lean on Thrasher a little bit, since that is a truck.
And as I just drove around Inferno for the lead.
And Silica just drove around Yo for 3rd. Just kind of embarrassed her on corner exit, honestly, but then again, I'm not surprised. That Focus is front-wheel drive, so it can't really put the power down at all.
Yeah.
Nozomi up to 11th. At the end of lap 1 here. Looking for more on the other debuting car in the race, Thea's Escort RS. We'll be seeing a couple of these throughout the week.
Yeah, it is weird that a bunch of drivers acquired a bunch of 92 Escorts.
all at the same time. Yeah, it's like it didn't even exist before today or something.
Yeah. Oh well.
Silica onto the podium. Bagstrom follows her ahead of both Yo and Thrasher. Thrasher trying to at least be the leading Ford down into turn 4. That is a clusterfuck behind him.
Yeah, I was seeing all this chaos in my rearview mirror, and I was just trying to run the fuck away.
And Thrasher goes from trying to be the lead Ford to the 3rd place Ford as Nozomi also overtakes with little difficulties. Now the two former school idols in Fords dueling in the hairpins. I think, well, the focus is going to be lighter, but ironically, the Mustang will still be better at putting down the power.
Silica's trying to make a move on Inferno, and I believe did. Yep.
Yeah, the nature of the Group 4 car that she's driving means it's going to be really good at these hairpins. I didn't really see how it got done, so couldn't instant replay. It's too dark to see anything. Just really good exit, and Inferno took a weird line on the way out of that second hairpin.
I think she got a little swirly on exit.
Yeah, that'll also probably not help. I thought it was just that she was conservative on acceleration, but could be the other way around just as easily.
That car was struggling. Speaking of struggling,
I think that was I believe a Lateman defense. That's the word from Yo there. On board with Nozomi. Yeah, Yo just kind of moved a little to the left and it just psyched Nozomi out, but it ultimately didn't change much, I don't think, as the Mustang was just able to get a really good exit and the Focus just doesn't have horsepower to compete. I do like how the Fords are just 5, 6, 7. I believe those are all the Fords, except for Fiat, never mind. And Thomas, never mind. Okay, I did not realize there were 5 fucking Fords in the race. I'm continuing to be mediocre, but Siegfried and another Sylvia has damage somehow? Oh, is in the giant mess of cars. That was aggressive from Nozomi, actually. Oh. That's how we got the damage. He kind of accordion affected into the back of Nozomi. I don't think Thrasher would be the happiest about that move. Look back towards the front here. Ahead of Inferno goes the Mustang, nearly losing it on the way into turn 1, so Inferno tries to fight back, but instead just finds himself...
Yeah,
just finds himself vulnerable to the Beamer. Can he get the move finished? Looks like so. The 101 car will seize the opportunity where it is. Even Inferno has a response. She's looking for it. She's going for it. Hello, Yo Watanabe. That's aggressive braking from the Focus. 3 wide on exit. Inferno backs out, and Kevin just has to floor it to avoid destruction. So, Yo with quite a bit of defensive driving there. And very late braking to hang on to her spot.
Yeah, something was up with Inferno's setup because that car was great in a straight line, but absolutely struggled in the corners as she is now fighting for dear life against Thrasher's truck.
Yeah, that's not a fun thing to see in your mirror regardless of who you are. Demon of Hell or random guy, that's just not a fun sight. Also, apparently Silica got ahead of you.
Yeah.
See the lead change here. I think, yeah, Silica just made her fucking money in the second hairpin. That touring car is able to get so much more acceleration out of there and then just be clear. You try a crossover, but you just can't outbrake a touring car so easily.
Yeah, I was trying not to fight her too much in that corner because I know as soon as we hit the straight, Corvette will do Corvette thing.
Well, you have to be close enough to do the Corvette things, and with the kind of acceleration that this fucking Suzuki Swift can get, front-wheel drive be damned, this thing can still take off when it has to.
Yeah. It also didn't help I was trying to... Well, Mustang did Mustang.
Yeah, the other thing with a lot of straight line speed. However, Silica is her own worst enemy. Yeah, I'm surprised you weren't, and that was a rejoin too. Not, I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
Through goes Nozomi, I guess. 1 lap to go. Credit One Bank is not involved, and you two will continue to fight with damaged machines for the final circuit of Interlagos here.
Yeah, me and her had a simple, quick conversation post-race.
The fact you're not spouting curse words tell me that it must not be too unpleasant. Round the outside, round the outside, round the outside! Fucking A.
Yeah, no, me and her are on good standing from all the video game parties that happen in the garage.
I've heard about those, but I'm usually too busy playing other games.
But into the last real corner.
Yeah, the last actual turn, and, you know, the straightaway is a foregone conclusion for the most part. The Mustang will do Mustang things. Climb the hill. Silica may be in pursuit, but it's not really in time. Nozomi will claim the W here from Interlagos. The Suzuki second, and the Corvette with a bit of damage will stroll home in third. Drag race to the line, but I think Yo is going to hang on to P4 in the Ford Fuck This, as Thrasher would call it.
And Inferno holds off the truck.
Runs for her life.
2-6.
Yeah, not the race she wanted. Her own self-preservation that I didn't think she would have was kind of her undoing. As if we go back to when that position changed hands, down at
The 3-wide situation.
Yeah, she backs out of that. She gets bumped by Yo, and in an effort to avoid running Bagstrom completely out of nowhere, jams on the brakes and puts herself out of that, what would probably be disaster. So, yeah, Inferno, I guess, was too nice. As weird as that is to say about her. Doesn't so much.
Hey, she may be the queen of hell, but once you actually get to know her, she is honestly a pretty cool person to hang out with. It's her kids and stepkids that are the pain in the fucking ass. Fuck.
Well, you summoned them, not me.
I know. And they do their job extremely fucking well.
I don't even want to know. We are here at Wednesday on Wednesday at Grand Valley Highway. I am very good at this whole commentary shtick. You shut up. The 715 class takes to the track. We have skipped a couple of categories. Ultimately, I mean, we just kind of just pick in a random order. We don't always have to go, you know, in ascending order. We just kind of happen to do that for races 1 and 2. But this is, you know, Grand Valley has been very commonly a host of 715. It's usually that or 675, so... But it can technically do any category, because then it has the shorter layout that's about the right length for 525 and 600, so this will probably be a future venue for 525 going forward. We just haven't gotten there yet, because it's only been a thing for 2 weeks.
And it's also the beautiful scenery here, too.
Yeah, Highway 1, as it's, you know, as
and Doge Point.
Yeah, Doge Point. Doge.0.
Why do you hear an angry husky?
I think we're gonna get bonked for that one, but, before I get a fucking toy sledgehammer to the noggin, let's just, get into the recording. Or get into the race, you know, that. We are away from Grand Valley Highway 1. Basically two track names combined into a single track name, and all of the fans of the old Grand Valley Speedway think it's heresy, but it's better than nothing. That's a bit of... tiny bit of contact with Stephanie Kaiser, POV driver of the race. Porsche AG has recently expanded their roster for this week, and oh, that's a big one!
Crash!
Ugh.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, this race did not get too far. Holy shit!
Yeah, who's that other car collected? Oh, it's Dick Trivial and the brand new Mopar Garage team!
Yeah, now we have one team getting an expansion, Porsche AG doubling their money, adding, I think all three of them were in this race, Elena Lassiter, Dedrick Schwartz, and yes, Charlotte Riel, all on the field today, as well as their usual suspects of Liza and Hans Frankfurt, who doesn't really show up very often. And then Stephanie Kaiser, whose Carrera GT just got sent to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, holy shit, what the hell happened? I mean, caution was absolutely, like, we went insta-red for that one.
Yeah, Stephanie has been the victim of multiple brutal crashes over the years, but that is definitely among them. That was just clumsy.
That was another Mopar Garage car. That was Kevin Boyd.
Well, Kevin Boyd had a chance to even introduce all the other new guys.
Welcome to the Challenge Series, dude. What the hell?
Welcome to the Challenge Series. Use your first takedown, I guess.
I think that might be a Challenge Series record from fastest debut to crash.
Yeah, at least causing a crash. I mean, we got Chad Cunningham, who got pretty close. But, he held the record, maybe, but only for a handful of weeks.
No one knows whatever happened to him.
Yeah, I don't... He just, turns out of the steering for no reason. I think. I mean, see his onboard here.
I was more referring to Cunningham.
I know.
No one has, after Rosalina, no one heard from him. But yeah, let's see what the hell happened here.
Yeah, the 3 wide here. He just turns out of the steering and escalates chaos.
Yeah, takes out his team owner in a fucking Porsche.
It wasn't even a thing I originally thought, oh, he had, he tried to go around Trivial. He was already alongside. He has an entire lane to put the Hellcat there. We're fine to go forward like this, but he just stops turning and swats the little Carrera and takes his teammate with her.
Yeah, and need to remind you that this guy is a safety inspector at a Dodge factory. That was very unsafety-like.
The unsafety car is he brings a Hellcat safety car, effectively modified for racing. Not the first one we've seen, but Samuel Jansen definitely doesn't do that. No doubt there. So that was a waved off start. So we effectively just return back to the state of the race, prior to that, minus the 2 cars that got damaged. So we just end up with we'll see you in a handful of seconds for the restart. Buck Angelos will now be the new camera car, since he will again start from what will be, I think, 18th, as both Trivial and Kaiser had to pull out to repair the vehicles. Yeah. Alright, take 2. We are green again from Grand Valley Highway. It is now the late evening. It took about an hour to get everything cleaned back up and shit. So we are away once more. Buck Angelos is now our POV driver. Already overtaking his team owner, yourself. Heading through turn 1.
Abrams Camaro.
Really surprisingly didn't have to use the armor, because the crash just kind of escorted itself off the circuit.
Yeah, Dose was surprised when she heard a Hellcat caused a big one, and it wasn't Buck.
Yeah, Buck wasn't even, there. He couldn't even see what happened. I think you might have gotten, a decent view of the aftermath.
Oh, I did.
Didn't get that. Ahead of one Porsche driver. A bit of a smack there. I think I heard Garrison understeer into the wall, but you can kind of get away with a little bit of a little bit of whacking on that thing. It doesn't really bite too much. But yeah, so as for the actual, the new things going on, yeah, Porsche AG added 3 new drivers, Lassiter, Schwartz, and fucking names, Riel. Then we have the new Mopar Garage with 4 cars, one of which was Dick Trivial's DoorDash Viper that got utterly demolished. Not utterly demolished, but out. That's a line, Liza. Evelyn Sienna driving the Group 3 spec Viper. Not the first one of those we've seen.
Yeah, interesting person, honestly. She also introduced herself as Evie. And apparently she knows one of my drivers, and because Rebecca was helping us unload today, and all of a sudden I just hear someone scream in a fangirl way, and I just see Evelyn trying to ask Becca for an autograph.
And then we have Jackson Steele, who nearly just lost control through the first little corner there in an 02 Viper. Apparently he's a bit of a gamer, as I understood.
Yeah, Trivial introduced me to his entire team, and apparently he is a sim racer. Who went pro after playing Sims so much.
No brain, not the Sims like the Sims 4. And we've already
Safety Inspector that we are familiar with.
Yeah, so we've already gotten very familiar with this guy. He kind of introduced himself in a manner of speaking.
Yeah, I told Buck on the restart to, if he was near him, to watch the fuck out.
That seems normal to me. Red versus blue over here, just with Hellcats.
Also, why do I hear Freebird?
Because this bird you can't change. God, I wish KOTOR were in this race. I'd love to put the camera on her right as I said that, but unfortunately that doesn't work. There's no other bird in the series. Interested to see if anything comes of that from in the future. Obviously, Kevin Royce is, well, he's near Hans, and Charlotte, but neither of them are really getting closer to him. I just kind of wonder what is going on. If that was just clumsy, new, first day on the job type shit, or if that was actually just some kind of attack.
Yeah, I'm hoping it was just.
Steele very aggressive against the SLR McLaren on the way into 1 and, well, kind of 1 and 2-ish, I guess. Forced to concede that battle, Ryza kind of cutting off his advances. Oh, excuse me. Oh my god, and Buck just embarrasses Paul Valentine down the aisle. Oh, contact. Bumper to the back of the 345? Like, that's the number on that Viper? I can't remember. Yes.
Yeah, the 345.
And bumper to the back of the fucking 345. Dedrick, not being quiet about what happened. Even though he has been on the team for a couple days at most, as I understand.
Oh yeah, that's a fucking teammate to Kaiser, putting the bumper to a fucking Mopar Garage driver. Okay. Yeah. That explains why security was a little heavy on pit lane post-race.
Yeah. I feel like we didn't really have very many admins present here either. We only had, I think Thrasher was the only one on the premises and he wasn't in the race. So the track itself was a lawless wasteland.
Yeah, I essentially had to volunteer Demon Sports because, weirdly for once, we did not cause any issues.
Around the outside. Double overtake for Buck. Holy shit. He made that Hellcat look like a dart through there. Holy hell.
But then...
that was Jackson again sideways trying to hang with the Hellcat.
Also love the fact that Jackson, his car is based off of the Bravado Banshee from the GTA series.
Yeah, that's the gaming for you. You can even see the logo on the door. Not the door, on the fucking engine cover. Again, Buck just embarrassing people through the S's. He's making this thing look about half as heavy as it actually is. This thing must be dialed the fuck in on the suspension. But you wouldn't catch me doing that in this kind of thing. I would barely dare to do that in my S14, and that thing is like a third of the horsepower. Holy shit! The thing is a slot car!
Uh-oh. Okay, Buck, what the fuck did you end up doing up here, dude?
I have a hard time believing he'd be hitting Barbara.
Probably hitting on Barbara.
Man, I'm gonna have to reject your advances. The conga line behind him. The front three are kind of in their own league at the moment. Literally. They're very close within that league. Sienna trying to find a way past Lassiter. Also a Porsche versus a Dodge, but there's been no contact between them thus far. Around the outside.
Those two are so far ahead. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but Buck is just trucking that thing around. Again,
he is driving like he is a man possessed.
I guess he kind of has to, considering how far ahead the lead three are. Just to make up basically 8 seconds in a single lap. I'm going to go ahead and say that's not happening. But the overtakes that he has made in the time he has had, have been, well, take your pick between spectacular and homicidal. Somewhere in the middle. Steele and Schwartz, they've just been on each other's tailgates. These cars don't even have tailgates, but you get the idea. Through this whole race, but they've cut their way through the field after the proper race start that actually counted for something. Thanks, Kevin. I think they started outside the top 10. His suspension is clearly not dialed in. Fucking A.
That's more so, this guy has too much fucking horsepower for his level of experience.
Or he's too aggressive. I guess probably a mixture of all those. So Sienna's still attacking the Cayman. Lassiter, relatively new to the challenge as a whole, and to be even signed to a factory team is kind of surprising, I must admit.
I mean, both of them. This is, what, their debut, or...
Sienna's debut, Lassiter's, I believe, third appearance.
Yeah, and they're both on factory teams?
Yeah, but this is definitely not Francesca's first appearance.
Oh, yes, no, the legend takes the new kids to school.
Yeah. Business as usual for Francesca Fidanzi, the W at Grand Valley, but it's
the
third
legend,
on debut.
the runner-up, and the rookie. And the
idiot. Barbara will hang on against the board. I know she won't. Viper horsepower. That horsepower is good for something, regardless of experience. That is a disappointment for Barbara, losing that with meters to go. So top 5 on debut for Jackson Steele. So all 3-5 for Mopar Garage, but then also that 12-19, I believe it was credited as. So very all over the grid for them. Whereas for Porsche, it is a much worse affair. 2-7-9-15. 2-7-9-13-15-20. So yeah, and you did not seem to have much pace today yourself either.
Yeah.
Just kind of waiting. I guess you're like alternating. You had a really mediocre run at Brands Hatch, a really, really good run at Interlagos competing for the win, and then here, just a non-factor.
Yeah, after the cluster of lap 1, I was just laying back, just keeping an eye on shit. Because, like you said, there were no actual admins on track, so I essentially said, fuck it, I'm a babysit.
You know, and let Buck do his thing since he was, he was very clearly the one representing the team at the front today, even if he didn't necessarily get to the front in the literal sense. But I mean, at 49.4, if the race goes on longer, he gets there eventually,
Seems like 2 more laps, he hunts him down.
Yeah. Possibly even, I think one more he gets there, 2 more, he's your winner, I would say. But, very mixed reactions from me to Mopar Garage, but it's nice to see a paddock mainstay finally get some actual talent on their team, because, well, the Cayman they had before certainly wasn't getting many second places, so we'll just say that. But on to Thursday's race, which hopefully was a little less chaos.